For folks that are, podcasting is all the rage now, right? We're,
Mhm.
we're on a podcast. So
Yeah.
podcast or radio, a lot of people say, well, why would someone like of influence when they could maybe go on an ESPN or an ABC or whatever, why would an influencer want to come on my show?
Correct.
Why would that be? Like, so why did he want to come on your show, and why do so many others want to come on your platform
Yeah.
versus, big national
Yeah.
media?
Well, I think we're in a time now where independence, right?
Mhm.
You're seeing it. It's kind of like a trend, right? Like entrepreneurship became sexy. And back
Yeah.
in the day when I was growing up, if you were an entrepreneur, you were broke and you were unemployed, right? And nobody wanted to be an entrepreneur. But now I think that people are seeing that, oh, I can have my own radio show. I can have my own podcast.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait for the big networks to contact me. So I think players, they understand it as well too. And if you have the relationship that's there, or if you have a unique platform that they can come on and tell a story, I think there's value in that because it can be syndicated across multiple mediums. You're not just restricted to someone tuning in to Channel 13 or tuning in to 970 AM or FM and having to listen to it at that time. They can actually come and consume that content on podcast platforms like iTunes, Spotify, whenever they want, while they're exercising, while they're working out. So I think there's more value in that
Yeah.
overall. And I think people understand that and they get that. And then again, going back to ownership and having control over your
Yeah.
own brand. Branding is again, it's sexy, it's cool. It's becoming more of a trend where you're seeing people stepping out and betting on themselves as opposed to waiting for a network to give
Yeah.
you that call, which may never come, right? Not everybody can appear on TV
Yeah.
or on a national radio show platform, but anyone can start their own podcast, right? Anyone can start their own radio, even, TV show if that's
Yeah.
what they want to do. There's multiple platforms you can get your content out across.
Yeah. So many athletes nowadays are actually becoming their own media company. I think, obviously LeBron
Absolutely.
is a great example, Jeter,
Yeah.
right? Do you think that less guys are going to want, and gals that are athletes are going to want to be on other people's show, or are they going to put it all into like their own platform? What's your thoughts there?
I think there's going to be always a mixture of both.
Mhm.
You're going to have those individuals that are going to be comfortable with being on someone else's platform
Yeah.
and working with them and sharing their story on that platform. And then you're going to have those that they're going to want to have, all the content and everything going through their platform.
Yeah.
So I think it just comes down to the relationships, right?
Yeah.
And the value that each individual has to offer. I don't think there's going to be a time period where someone says, "Oh, I don't want to go on this particular platform. Or, I don't
Yeah.
want to work with this person." I think the collaborations are key. I think that that's one of the things. If you look at social media influencers today, and if you've
Mhm.
looked at it like King Botch and a lot of these different influencers, where they all were willing to work with each other
Yeah.
to produce short skits, and share those across each other's platform, help raise each one of their,
Yeah.
awareness and brand and their profile. So I think the collaborations are key of making appearances on various people's, platforms, whether that's a podcast or whether it's a show like this, which is
Yeah.
still a podcast but can be syndicated and broadcasted on multiple platforms.
Yeah.
There's value in that. I think the more places, because if you're just restricted to just making an appearance on ESPN, even though that's a national
Yeah.
platform,
Yeah.
as opposed to making appearances across multiple platforms of different podcasts of very well-known, public figures, then you're seeing yourself everywhere,
Yeah.
so to speak. And it's there for eternity as long as those platforms are up and accessible.